we've talked a lot about suffering and difficulty today and changing difficult habits, but self-compassion is not all struggle and toil and difficulty. It's also how we nurture the positive, how we connect more deeply with all the wonderful things in life, positive emotions. And so we're going to do some practice now around that, around gratitude, around savoring, around self-appreciation, which is part of gratitude, and then some sympathetic joy or appreciative joy. So just say a little bit about each of those practices, and then we'll do it, because actually it's practice that's better than talking about it, really. Bernie did some wonderful gratitude in that first practice for your friend. So she connected with that sense of like that gratitude to the other. So we've already been touching on gratitude. Now, gratitude, it can be used to invalidate people. People will say, just think how many good things you've got, or don't, you haven't got it bad. Like we said before, my suffering is invalidated because we have a house that we live in, and we have we have computers that we can connect in, so we can't we shouldn't experience suffering. For gratitude, for me, we've got to be careful it doesn't invalidate anything. So it's not, we want to acknowledge our pain, we want to make space for that, make room for that, and then also bring in gratitude to support ourselves. And so it's not dismissing the pain, it's not getting rid of them, it's not saying everything's perfect, but it's acknowledging that our brains have this negativity bias. So we wire up threats more quickly and more deeply. Our brain attends to difficulties more because that kept our ancestors alive. So back in the days when humans were evolving, it wasn't our ancestors that looked at the beautiful sunset and went, wow, that's just wonderful, and basked in that beautiful emotion. They weren't the ones that survived. They were quickly eaten by, the saber-toothed tigers. It was our ancestors that were kind of constantly under threat and kind of aware of that and watching that. They were the ones that survived. So all of us have these tendencies to be quite neurotic, if you like, and quite threat focused, and that sort of stuff will be quicker. And there's a great example in compassion focused therapy, or actually no, I think it's Rick Hanson's example. His work's great on this, on taking in the good. If you go think about the times when we used to be able to go shopping, and maybe Christmas time or something like that. You go around a load of different shops, and 6 or 7 shop attendants are just lovely, really kind, really, friendly and helpful. And then one of them is really rude. When you go home to your family, who do you talk about? You don't go, oh, there were these 6 beautiful attendants, they were so kind, I loved them. No, we all go straight to the terrible one. And this kind of rolls out into our relationships, into our lives. Our brain will attend to that. So gratitude is a way of offsetting that. It's a way of tipping it back into taking in the good, because enjoying life isn't that doesn't pass on our genes. Actually, it's surviving that passes on our genes. So that's what we're kind of evolved to do. And then the kindness is wonderful, the happiness is wonderful, but it's a lower priority for us. So this is a way of strengthening that. Self-appreciation supports self-compassion because we acknowledge what we have as strengths, what we like about ourselves. It boosts all of that. Yes, again, the critic might come up, shame might come up, resistance might come up, but we can work with that. But it has common humanity. So we're also not saying, I'm amazing, I'm so good at all these things, and I love myself. It's going like, yeah, I have these talents and strengths, but other people do as well. I'm not so special in that. I'm not the only one who has this talent, but I can appreciate it, I can take it in. So that strengthens self-compassion that way. We have appreciative joy or sympathetic joy, which is when we take happiness in other people's happiness. So we see our friends happy and we feel good. We see our family happy, we feel good. And we can strengthen that even more. And it's so wonderful. It offsets a lot of, kind of fear and jealousy and social comparison and all these things that can be quite destructive. If we can actually enjoy other people's happiness, then we don't need to compete or be so defensive there. And I think that's a lovely one to develop. And then finally, savoring. So savoring is mindfulness towards, enjoyable things. So my cup of coffee, it's bringing my attention to the smells, the sights, everything about it. It's taking it in, that mixture of, sweetness and bitterness, the kind of energizing but relaxing quality, all the positive things about something simple like that. I bring my attention to it, have my attention on the good thing, and also how it feels in my body. So the relaxation, the warmth, the smile, the openness, and nurturing that more. So savoring for me is a really important skill, not always talked about so much in mindfulness, but I think it's such a beautiful way to give ourselves self-compassion.